Hey, hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul, and today we're going to. This is me basically recording my podcast. This will be Wednesday's edition. It'll come out on Wednesday, 10/10, and it's called Scientific Proof. And this is the final podcast that I plan on doing on the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. If you're interested in getting this book, I highly recommend it. All the link to it's in the show notes, and a link to a lot of other books, John Maxwell books that I offer 8-week mastermind, online mastermind, virtual mastermind courses in. So if you have a team, and it doesn't matter if it's 3, 4, 8 teams, 10 members, and it really does benefit you to go through these mastermind courses and going through. It's more than just a book study, because we put our minds together and really brainstorm and mastermind on the different topics and make it relevant and applicable for you and your company. So I am going to hit record and start the podcast. Hey, hello, leaders. This is Paul Grau Jr. And today I am going to wrap up the What to Say When You Talk to Yourself book, my review by Shad Helmstetter. Highly recommend the book. Once again, the information is in the show notes. Go ahead and click on the link. It'll take you right to it. I highly recommend you diving into this book because, again, I only scratched the surface the last week and a half or so. And today I'm going to talk about scientific proof. Scientific proof that this self-talk is not just a bunch of baloney and hot air that he's talking about. They have scientific proof that self-talk has the impact on your brain that will benefit you, or basically be negative towards your success or outcomes. So, excuse me. And it's my favorite time of the year. Fall is my favorite time of the year. My birthday is Monday. Next Monday, I'll hit the big 6-0, and I'm excited about that. And at the same time, fall is my worst season for allergies because I'm allergic to ragweed, and the fall is the heart of ragweed season. So especially on windy days like today, man, it's a nice cool breeze. I love being outside, but it does this to my my throat and my voice. So if I'm not sounding normal, you don't have to adjust your sound. It's just my voice is about shot. So again, scientific proof about this self-talk. Shad talks about how there's 2 parts of the brain that really can change our attitude. And the positive thinking grows neutrons or neurons. I think it's neurons. Neurons. It grows neurons in the left prefrontal cortex. I think I got that right. So the left prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that helps you seek alternative solutions to problems. It helps you deal with challenges and maintain balance in your life. So basically, that left prefrontal cortex, it promotes healthy attitudes, and it creates success for you. So the more positive self-talk that you say to yourself, the more that you are creating neurons, growing neurons in that left prefrontal cortex. So it's actually going to cause you to be happier and seek solutions and be more of a problem solver and be more positive, a healthier attitude. On the other hand, negative thinking and negative self-talking grows neurons in the right prefrontal cortex. All right. So you have the left that's positive, the right, which is negative. This right prefrontal cortex is a part of the brain that basically invites or entices pessimism. All right. Everything's bad, right? Everything's going to turn out lousy. It entices uncertainty and negative moods. So the more negative self-talk that you're talking to yourself and hearing, even, the more that your right prefrontal cortex is going to be growing neurons and really firing up and causing this pessimism, uncertainty, and bad moods. So this is exactly how you find people who are positive a lot seem to be more easily they remain positive more easily than other people because they're doing this positive self-talk, and that is firing up the neurons and growing neurons in that left prefrontal cortex. Now, and it's also the reason why negative people seem to be negative all the time, because the more negative they are, the more neurons are growing in that right prefrontal cortex. And that's going to cause them to be naturally negative. Man, doesn't it? I mean, this is so freaking cool. This is scientific proof. The neurologist or the scientific neurologists or the neurology scientists, they have studied the brain and they found this out. So I don't know how they do that. This just amazes me. So basically, the bottom line is here, we need to replace the negative thinking with positive thinking. And the more that we do that, the more that we're going to lessen the ability or the power that the negative right prefrontal cortex has on us, and it's going to give the left prefrontal cortex more power over our actions and stuff. So we need to replace the negative thinking to positive thinking. And it's not enough just to know this stuff. You need to lock in this new thinking with positive thoughts. This positive thoughts continuously is going to reprogram your brain, reprogram your subconscious mind. And the more that your subconscious mind gets reprogrammed into positive self-talk or with positive self-talk, the more that it's going to fire up and grow them neurons in the left prefrontal cortex. And all this stuff makes me sound smart, doesn't it? Left prefrontal cortex and all this brain talk. But believe me, I learned it from this book. So again, I'm only scratching the surface here. Most of the stuff I'm saying is right out of the book, and I highly recommend that you go buy the book, dive deeper. But the number one thing that you can do to yourself to improve the way, we talked earlier, the 5 essential steps, right? And it starts with that programming, and it goes all the way to the final step is your behavior or your action. Well, that comes from, all these different things that we talked about a couple days ago. We talked about how the behavior comes from your feelings, and your feelings come from your attitudes, and your attitudes come from your beliefs, and your beliefs come from the way you've been programmed from birth and reestablished and reinforced over the years. So if you really want to change, you have got to start reprogramming yourself and reinforcing that positive self-talk. And only that way you're going to reprogram your subconscious so it gets rid of all that negative self-talk. So I hope you enjoyed this book. I really did. Come on back tomorrow, because tomorrow is October 11th. And, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably watching it on Tuesday. If you're listening to it on the podcast, this is Thursday. But tomorrow is going to be Friday's episode. It's a special day to me. So come on back and learn why it's a special day for me. Until then, keep running to your challenges and keep talking positive to yourself. Hey, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. I really screwed up that ending, didn't I? Sorry to throw you off. All right, so that's it. That was a different ending. I usually end with, till tomorrow, run to your challenges. We'll see you. So, I hope I didn't throw you off. But this here was pretty amazing, because it is scientific proof. This shows that this isn't just air and fluff that Shad has given us. There's proof that self-talk changes the way you act, and it changes the way your brain looks at things. This is the whole theory behind Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. It's the whole theory behind the biblical, I think it's Proverbs 23:7 we talked about, as a man thinketh, so is he. And there's a book by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, that talks about this same principle too. So this isn't new. It's an old theory that was discovered early in, I think Napoleon Hill wrote about it in the 30s. So why don't more of us do it? And you got me. So the best thing I could say is let's start doing it. Let's start holding each other accountable. Let's start being that positive example that we give to other people on our teams. And when we see them talking negative, and we see, like yesterday, we talked about the levels of self-talk, all right? And levels 1 and 2 are negative self-talk. When we catch ourselves doing negative level 1 and level 2, we need to rewire it and go to level 3 and 4. Start talking positively. But you can also call stuff out, call people out on your team. If you see somebody, or anybody around you for that matter, if you see somebody talking to themselves and it's negative, correct them on the spot and say, hey, you just said you'd never do this, or man, I'll never be that good. You just reinforced your programming, and your brain is going to make sure that you're never good enough. So let's just change that and say you are good enough, and you are learning to be good enough. So makes all the difference, but you can't just say it 1 or 2 times. This has got to be a part of your identity. It has to be a part of your daily leadership habits. And the more you do that, the better off this is going to be for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, come on back. I'll probably record the next version in just a few minutes. So if you're live, hang around a little bit and you'll be able to see it. See you later. End the stream. And